Alright, so I wanted to make a video about depression, and specifically depression as a check engine light. And some disclaimers, this is definitely not the case for everyone in every circumstance. I don't mean to universalize this in any way, nor do I claim to have any training in this field of, whatever, psychology. But I have lived through it, and I have had, I guess, a remission in my own depression, which was had much more to do with what I'm going to talk about than it did with any treatment that I received from doctors or psychologists or whatever. So, the title of this video is Depression as a Check Engine Light, and what I mean by that is I think in some cases it is a indicator that things are just wrong in your life. And there are a couple of big sort of, influential areas of your life that I think if they're wrong, one or more of them is wrong, you can very easily end up with depression or other manifestations of a check engine light, which are probably, they're different for different people. But okay, let's think about what are your big things that would cause a check engine light to go on. So basically the most influential things are your living arrangement, your work arrangement and finances, your relationships, and also your media consumption. And so I have changed really just almost all of those, and I will say that my depression basically just went away. Am I still a little neurotic? Yes, but I'm not constantly, wishing for non-existence or whatever. Or I don't feel active, constant pain psychologically and emotionally and physically like I did for a while. So I can talk a little bit about my changes that I went through, and maybe how that happened. But so for me, it started with, and I think it often for a lot of people starts with getting a new job. So I was just not suited to the job that I was in, to be honest. And it was a very public facing job, and there's a lot of moral and sort of expectations. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of being in the public eye, a lot of conflict, a lot of conflict resolution, and a lot of working with people. And just over time, I'm just oh shit, that's the absolute wrong job for me. I'm definitely more of a back office person who likes to work independently and have as little to no conflict, and also wants to work remotely, and also wants to make more money. So, you're not always going to be able to make a change that's going to fix everything. But for me, I was able to change my job, which also led me to changing my living situation, which also changed me to, which also led me to changing my relationships, which also, and I also during that time changed my media consumption too. And so all those things just kind of all of those variables changed within a period of a couple of weeks basically, and just basically, depression goes away. Now, is this something that everybody can do? No, absolutely not. It takes a certain amount of resources, freedom, and opportunity, and luxury or privilege or ability, or it takes circumstances lining up right for you to be able to change your job, because I do think that is often the first piece of the puzzle to change, and then it can just unravel everything else in a good way. So it's not, and again, not to say it's not something that everybody can do in every case, but I would say if you are feeling depressed, think about which of these major elements of your life is the one that you stew on the most. Which one is the one that you ruminate on? Also, do you feel like you have a future? I think that was another thing for me too, was I didn't feel like I had a future. I didn't have goals, or I didn't have like, anything in the future that I was looking forward to, or, and I think now I've sort of just tempered my goals, and I also have a clear pathway to like different open opportunities, which makes me feel better, and I can get some different education options very free, or like very cheaply or for free, and so that is making it possible for me to like change direction a little bit too, and just have some more freedom. So that might be the other thing where that might be the other variable, is like your vision of the future, or your 5-year plan, or like just what is the next step that you're working towards. And I think another thing is just recognizing that like you may not be able to move into the right exact perfect job immediately, but even a small change in the right direction is a change in the right direction, and will probably make you feel a lot better. So that's something to consider. Like for me, the job that I changed to, could I do it forever? Not financially, probably not. But is it perfect in that regard? No. But it's one of those things where you can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, where they're on almost every axis. This job is way better than my last one, and it just makes me feel better. And so I also have been able to make new friends, leave some old shit behind, move to a new city, lots of things like that just feels way better. And so in a couple of years I'll have another sort of an advanced degree that is more open-ended, and I'll be able to do some different things if I want to. It also could lead to some different opportunities in my current line of work. So there's just a lot of things. If you are what variables could you change in your life, and tangibly, not this is what I think a lot of the therapists don't get, is you're not gonna your day changes, helping somebody make changes in their day-to-day circumstances in terms of job or living situation or relationship is much more valuable than I would say changing thought patterns, because a lot of the time thought patterns and stuff will change if you have more freedom in your if things line up better in your day-to-day circumstances, I guess. The thought patterns are definitely important when we're thinking about cognitive behavioral therapy and stuff like that, and a lot of the time changes can't happen unless you get that in place. It's a relationship. I guess I would just say, as somebody that did therapy for years, and still felt terrible, and then changed some of these variables and then felt better in a matter of weeks, and it has felt better for months, and I tried medication and stuff. I think it's really just, there's a lot of power in just trying to change one variable at a time, or just totally move to a new city and reinvent yourself and just change things. So just something to think about if you're feeling depressed. Depression as a check engine light. What needs to be changed, what needs to be repaired, what needs to be maintained or swapped out. So that's really all I've got for this one. Hope everybody's doing well.